Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the ever-changing world of technology? Tech It Out can help make some sense of it all. Breaking down geek speak into street speak, technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman covers consumer technology each week for every listener. Mark tackles the latest news, reviews, and how-tos to help you understand what's hot, what's not, and why.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 191 of Tech It Out. Closing in on 200 shows. That's about right. June marks the 4th anniversary of this syndicated radio show through Radio America and the 3rd year or so of the podcast. Cool stuff. Hey, we do have a great Tech It Out plan for you today. Now that spring has sprung, you may be considering a road trip this season, or maybe in the summer. And so we're going to start off in a moment with a chat about dashcams and what you should look for in one. What are the latest features? We're also going to learn this hour about what's being billed as a breakthrough in education. It's a transparent screen the teacher writes on with these illuminated markers, but they do so from behind the screen so they can keep eye contact with the students. And it's used for both online learning and in classroom. So we're going to learn all about eGlass this hour, which could also be used in a business environment as well. And finally, I'll also share some spring tech ideas, including a robotic lawnmower, a cell phone signal booster, a water leak sensor, and a lot more. All of this and more on an all-new Tech It Out, powered by ASUS, for those in search of incredible. I'll tell you more about ASUS shortly, but let's officially kick off the show with our first interview. A couple of weeks ago, I wrote an article for USA Today on 5 things to look for in your next dashboard camera, or Dashcam for short. And one of the companies mentioned in the piece was Thinkware, as their dashcams have those features I was highlighting. And so I wanted to invite them onto the show to share some info on what a dashcam shopper should look for and to recommend a couple of models as well. Joining us on the line is Billy Alexander, dashcam product expert and a Thinkware manager. Welcome to the show, Billy. Good to talk to you.
Hey, Mark. Thank you for having me here.
Sure. So before we talk about Thinkware specifically, let's just bring everybody up to speed, if that's all right. Let's talk about what a dashcam is all about.
Yes, for sure, Mark. So a dashcam is a dedicated video recording device for your vehicle. And it's very much like a surveillance camera in the sense that it's sitting there on your windshield and you don't really think about it or need to interact with it unless, of course, you've been involved in an incident. So a good dashcam is a dashcam, that will start recording automatically when you stop the vehicle. And it will have what we call loop recording, so that, it's a device that's recording continuously. And it also have a G sensor. So a G sensor is a piece of technology that will allow the dashcam to detect impacts and log those precious video files to show the impact and to protect it from being overwritten, or in other words, being erased.
Mm-hmm. Got it. All right. So dashcams typically have a little micro SD card inside that archives video footage captured from a first-person perspective, whether it's used recreationally because you want to look back at a road trip that you had with the family with fond memories and watching that on a big TV, or for more practical purposes. If, anything that happens on the road, an incident, you now have video evidence. And as you mentioned, Billy, it records on a loop. So depending on the size of the memory card you're using, but in the event that it senses something, it will then lock that file so you can't override it. That's an important feature. And these dash cams do start when you turn on the vehicle, which is convenient. So you kind of, like you said, set it and forget it. And then only if you need it can you, pop out that memory card. And that's sort of at its core what a dash cam is. But we're going to learn over the next few minutes about some advanced features that you may want to look for. With that in mind, tell us a bit about Thinkware.
Yeah. So Thinkware, we've been designing and manufacturing dash cams for pretty much the past decade. It's our bread and butter. So we specialize in making reliable premium dash cams with a heavy emphasis on quality and reliability. And why is that? Because, it's a third eye witness that is supposed to be recording 24/7 in your vehicle. Mm-hmm. So your dash cam needs to be a good road companion that you can count on and depend on to capture the unexpected. So that's one of the reasons why we load our dash cams with technology, that will take video recording, safety, and reliability to the next level.
And what are some of your latest models available?
Sure. So one of our latest models we've launched recently is the F200 Pro. It's a budget-friendly dashcam that is capable of recording in 1080p resolution front and rear. And one of our top selling dash cam is our flagship dash cam, the U1000. That one is capable of recording at 4K front resolution and 2K resolution in the rear.
So let's unpack that for a moment. You said front and rear. So typically a dash cam faces forward on your dashboard or on your windshield, but this has two cameras. Can you explain the front and rear portion?
Sure. So yes, traditionally a dash cam is just forward facing, but in a lot of instances, it actually is a good idea to add a rear view camera. And one of the main reasons why is because if you have parking mode enabled, that we can go into greater detail later, but if you have parking mode enabled, and if you park somewhere, and you would be able to capture any kind of hit and run and incidents that are also happening at the back of your vehicle. So it is advantageous to add a rear view camera because you want to be able to capture more kind of like of a 360 view of your surrounding.
All right. So when you buy the F200 Pro, which I know just debuted at the beginning of April, does that include both cameras, or you can just mount it forward facing and backward facing, but you need to buy two of them?
We have two variations. So if customers just want the front camera, they can purchase just the front camera. And we also have a bundle with the rear camera included.
Okay, cool. I've also heard of dash cams that have a front-facing camera view as well as an in-vehicle view. So ideal for, rideshare drivers like Lyft and Uber drivers.
Those are also excellent solutions for rideshare drivers.
Yeah.
And with the F200 Pro, you will have the opportunity to, instead of having a rear view camera, replace the rear view camera and have an interior infrared camera for the cabin.
Okay, and also ideal for carpool karaoke songs, I guess.
Absolutely.
All right, so the F200 Pro is more of an entry-level camera, but with some high-end features, and it does have HD clarity. And as you mentioned, the option to pair it with a rear camera, and some of those models have both in the box. And then the U1000 is more of what you called your flagship model. So instead of 1080p HD quality, which is pretty clear, this has 4K resolution, so 4 times the resolution, or instead of 2 million little dots that capture that footage, it's now about 8 million dots. So you're just getting that much more detail. Great for things like capturing license plate information or street signs and even more. Is that fair?
Yeah, that is a correct observation. So the 4K resolution really will enable you to capture all the little details, which is great for capturing license plates. But also if you're doing scenic road trips, let's say if you're traveling through the Rockies and you want to have a clip of your road trip, that 4K resolution really pops. So it's very, very good to have it.
Especially when you play it back on a 4K TV, for sure. We are chatting with Billy Alexander, Dashcam product expert and a Thinkware manager. We're learning about some new models from Thinkware and some of the features that you may want to look for in your next Dashcam. We'll get to the parking feature in a moment, parking mode. But you also mentioned Wi-Fi support. Can you clarify what models have built-in Wi-Fi and what some of the applications are for that?
So both the F200 Pro and the U1000 will have Wi-Fi support. And what it is really is the dashcam will start its own little Wi-Fi network. So you just press a button and then the dashcam will initiate a Wi-Fi network so that you can connect your smartphone to it. And once you've paired it with your smartphone, then you'll be able to download footage. If you want to share a cool footage or you need to retrieve information, video files on the fly, this is what Wi-Fi is good for. Or if you also want to just adjust settings.
Okay, got it. So let's just add some more convenience without having to pop out the memory card or watch the footage on the back of the dash cam. And can you also elaborate a bit more on the GPS feature with radar, speed traps, and things like that?
Yeah. So on the U1000, the GPS antenna is built in, whereas the F200 Pro will be an optional accessory.
Okay.
Once you have that GPS paired with the device, or if it's already built in, like in the U1000, you will not only be able to tag all the videos you record with speed, location, and time and date, but it will also unlock features like red light camera alerts or speed camera alerts. So let's say if you're approaching an intersection that has a red light camera, then your dashcam will actually give you a little countdown, letting you know ahead of time that, hey, watch out. In about 100 meters or 100 feet, there is a red light camera.
Okay, that sounds like a convenient feature as well. We're going to continue chatting with Thinkware when we return in a moment from now. We're going to learn about parking mode and how that's a cool feature to look for in your next dash cam. As the name suggests, it keeps an eye on your vehicle and its contents even when you're not there. We'll talk about app support and what happens if you're pulled over by the authorities when you've got a dash cam in case you want video evidence of that interaction. Many people have been asking for that. So we're going to learn about more of these dash cam features when we return with Thinkware. And hey, if you're on social media, come by and say hi. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. It's Mark Saltzman, Mark with a C, Saltzman. Let me know what you think of Tech It Out, what you'd like to hear on the show, some suggestions for upcoming topics or guests, what you don't like about the program, and so on. Or if you have a tech support question, you want my opinion on something, you're looking to buy a laptop for someone in the family, or not sure how to fix your iPhone, that kind of thing, you can always reach out on social media. Or if you prefer, my email address is tech@marksaltzman.com. Speaking of laptops, this show is powered by Asus for those in search of incredible. Check out its laptops like the ZenBooks and VivoBooks, Chromebooks, and ExpertBooks, all at asus.com/US/radio. A fantastic company with amazing products. ASUS.com. Okay, we'll be back shortly with more Tech It Out. Stick with us.
Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want. Find the Tech It Out podcast at iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to Tech It Out, everyone. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. I'm your host, Mark Saltzman. We have a few more minutes with Billy Alexander, Dashcam product expert and a Thinkware manager. Thinkware makes a number of different dashcams. They've got the F200 Pro and the U1000. Both are at thinkware.com as well as at retail. Now, before the break, Billy, we were just about to talk about parking mode. This, to me, is one of the coolest of the new features in a dashcam. Let's continue with that. Is that available in the F200 Pro and the U1000? And tell us how that works exactly.
Yeah, parking mode is available on all of our models. And there's only one little thing that you need to have to be able to unlock it. You need to have a hot wiring cable. So a hot wiring cable is this cable that will hook up directly to the fuse box. So it does take a little bit of installation work to do, but it's fairly easy, and there are a lot of DIY videos out there. So people who want to give it a shot, it won't be too hard for them. Mm-hmm. So once you have that cable installed and hooked up to the fuse box, then you unlock the Thinkware parking mode. And our Thinkware parking mode really stands out from the competition because it really is comprehensive, and we have multiple parking modes. So the main parking mode that we have is called the impact and motion detection. And what it is essentially is if you're parked somewhere in the street and if people walk by, that those people will be captured by the camera because of the motion detection. So the dashcam will detect the motion, and it will actually save 10 seconds before it actually detected the event, and then 10 seconds after, so that you have a 20-second video. And those 10 seconds prior to the incident is what, in the dashcam world, we call buffered recording.
Okay, so if you're on the street or you're parked in a lot and somebody dings your vehicle or even tries to break into it, or you get a parking ticket, for all those reasons, if you're not in the vehicle, you can still have video footage of it that you can look at later.
That's correct. So it's a mobile surveillance system. Your dashcam in your car is monitoring the surroundings 24/7.
Okay, so kind of wakes up if it detects any kind of movement or the sensor detects an incident. And just before we wrap up, one other feature that we haven't even discussed yet is if you're pulled over by the authorities, you may want video evidence of your interaction with the police. So you can often swivel around the dash cam and point it towards the driver's side window to capture that interaction. That's also something worth noting. All right, Billy, so as we wrap up, you did highlight some of the Thinkware advantages like quality and good pricing and all that, but is there a reason you think why someone should consider a Thinkware dashcam over another brand?
Absolutely. So the main reason why to consider Thinkware is really at Thinkware, our core values is to make dashcam that will stand the test of time. So a testament of that are the videos we regularly receive from our users. Actually, some of them have dashcam models that are more than 3 or 4 years old. And when you think about the kind of conditions and punishments a dashcam goes through, because it's sitting on the windshield, it could be really hot outside, and it's even hotter in your vehicle, and heat and electronics don't mix very well together. Mm-hmm. So when you think about those conditions, it's actually pretty admirable. Mm-hmm. And because of our excellent track record as well, we've been able to partner with major car manufacturers around the globe to bring our products to even more customers.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that vehicles don't have a built-in dash cam already. Not that Thinkware would want that, but you'd think it would already be built in already, maybe behind the grill of the front or something, but maybe in the future. In any event, you're not breaking the bank for a dash cam, and is there a website where our listeners can learn more about Thinkware?
Yeah, to learn more about Thinkware, just please visit our thinkware.com website.
All right, thinkware.com. Billy Alexander, great to chat with you. Thank you so much. Have a great spring.
Thank you, Mark. You too. Take care.
Hey, I would like to ask the listeners if you have a dash cam, and if so, what do you use it for? Is it for more recreational purposes, so you can relive like a really cool road trip and watch that video all over again? Or is it for more practical purposes, to have video evidence of an incident or accident or even interaction with the authorities if you're pulled over? There's a lot of reasons to have a dash cam. Or if you're a driver, if you're listening to this right now on the radio or even in podcast form, you may be driving someone around right now as an Uber or Lyft driver or what have you. So maybe you want to also have a video of your rides, your passengers, in case something happens. So would love to hear from you. I'm on social media. If you want to drop by and say hi, let me know what you think of dash cams and the show. It's Mark Saltzman, Mark with a C, Saltzman with a Z. And I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So pick your favorite platform and you can let me know what you think of the show as well. And I also write on social media a tech tip of the day that you may be aware of. In fact, why don't we spend this last minute of this block on Tech It Out with a couple of recent ones that I shared on social media. One was for iPhone users. If you press the green call button, did you know that it will call the last person you called or the last person who called you? That's super convenient, and a lot of people surprisingly didn't know that one. Here's another tech tip of the day that I shared the other day. You probably know that if you need tech support, it's a good idea to Google your question and you may find the answers. Probably been doing that for years, and it is a great idea. However, to better find your solution and quickly to your tech issues, add the word solved to your query. So again, you can write something like how to fix a blah, 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 or how do you get rid of this blue screen on this, but add the word solved and you will find more helpful results. So if you like those kinds of tech tips, a plain English way of getting more out of your gadgets and your gear and all that, one last time on social media, it's Mark Saltzman. You can follow me, MarkSaltzman. When we return on Tech It Out, I'm going to share a few great spring-related gadget ideas. That's coming up right after this break, including a robotic lawnmower that can cut your grass for you. We'll be right back with more Tech It Out. Stick with us.
Want to follow Mark? Google him. Mark with a C and Saltzman with a Z. Breaking down geek speak into street speak. This is Tech It Out. Tech It Out with technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Tech It Out. So I had a lot of fun this week talking about spring tech, but this time of year, I always like to look at new gadgets and gear to help welcome in the new season. So I thought I'd walk through those items with you. So first of all, I talked about the world's lightest laptop. The LG Gram has been billed as the world's lightest 16-inch laptop from Guinness World Records. The 17-inch model has also earned that nod. There's also a 14-inch, by the way, but these are incredibly light, yet still very durable and powerful laptops. So great for work or play. And this 16-inch model is new this year, and with a 2-in-1 coming next month as well. That's when the screen bends back on a 360-degree hinge and it's touch-based. But the LG Gram family is gorgeous. It's got a new and stunning 16:10 widescreen, so perfect for watching TV shows, streaming something from your favorite platform, or multitasking, since you can have multiple windows open, and battery life up to 22 hours. believe it or not. So fantastic. You can leave that charger in the drawer, as well as built-in Alexa. So a lot of bells and whistles for the LG Gram family, starting at $1299 for the 14-inch model. And this is an example, by the way, of an Intel Evo certified laptop. These are new sort of best in breed that have an Intel Evo sticker on it that certifies that it has an 11th gen Intel Core processor for lots of power under the hood, Intel Iris Xe graphics, long battery life, quick startup times, Wi-Fi 6, and other criteria. So I would definitely look for that Intel Evo sticker. Then I showed on TV the Assassin's Creed Valhalla video game, one of the best games I've played in a very long while. This can certainly keep you entertained during a break next month and well into the spring and summer. This is made by Ubisoft Montreal, and you step into the role of a Viking raider who travels through the harsh world of Norway in the 9th century and then ventures to England as your new home. It's a beautiful open world game. You're going to face off against tough adversaries. You'll raid fortresses and build your clan's new settlement. It's an action-adventure hybrid available for Xbox, PlayStation, and Windows PC. And it's $59 to start. There's some collector's editions as well if you want extra content and some collectible merch with it, but $79 to start for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Highly recommended video game. It is rated M for mature, so it isn't for the little ones, for more the kids at heart, but just a really fun Viking game. Wow. All right. Next up, I talked about a few practical devices that you may want to pick up for your home this spring. One is a molecule air purifier. So as you might expect, since the start of the pandemic, purifiers have sold very well. And the Molecule, which is MOLEKULE brand of air purifiers, have won several awards. Not only are they great at cleaning the air of allergens this time of year for those who suffer from allergies like pollen, as well as smoke and mold and dust, but they can also remove airborne viruses. Molecule Air Mini Plus is for rooms up to 250 square feet, while the Molecule Air can be used in rooms up to 600 square feet. But both are portable. There's a little handle so you can move it from room to room. They use Pico technology to destroy pollutants. Plus, the Air Mini Plus also has a particle sensor and an auto protect mode. So it's kind of like a set it and forget it kind of thing. Prices start at $439 for the Molecule Air Mini Plus air purifier and a little bit more for the Molecule Air for larger rooms. Going from air quality to preventing water damage around spring, this is very timely as well. And the number one home insurance claim, water damage. So the MyD-Link Whole Home Smart Wi-Fi Water Leak Sensor Starter Kit is fantastic because out of the box you get two water sensors. One of them plugs into the wall, the other one is battery operated, but the idea is the same. If it senses any water, you put it in a highly vulnerable area like by a sub pump or a washing machine, by a window in the basement that might have a small crack in it. If it detects any water, it emits a 100 decibel siren and has a strobe light so you can be visually notified if not through sound. But even if you're not around, it pushes a notification to your phone. So it's also ideal if you are a snowbird and you want to keep this in your main home up north, and then you go down south, you can be notified if there's any water damage so you can have a neighbor or a family member act on it quickly to minimize damage. If you are at home, I also love this feature with these D-Link water sensors where you can wirelessly pair them to a Google speaker to announce that a leak has occurred. That's pretty awesome. There's no monthly subscription costs or anything like that, just out of the box. And again, there are two. It's $79, available around June. And then you can add more. You can have up to 16 in your home. All right, second last product to talk about, a cell phone booster for those who suffer from poor phone reception in their home or their cottage, their cabin, like a summer home. The SureCall Flare 3.0 cell phone signal booster is a top-of-the-line solution that can cover properties up to 3,500 square feet. So it can be used for voice, text, and data, regardless of the make of your smartphone or model or carrier. It doesn't matter who you use for service. It works across the board, and it is 5G compatible. So you get in the box this funky little booster that is inside of your home and a 50-foot cable to connect to the antenna that you mount on the outside of your home. And the two together blanket a huge space, again, up to 3,500 square feet. It's $379 for the SureCall Flare 3.0 cell phone signal booster. booster. And finally, for those who would rather do something they enjoy this spring and summer than cut the lawn, you're not alone. The Husqvarna Automower 435X AWD is a robotic lawnmower. It can handle lawns up to 3,500 square meters, or about 0.9 acres, and even with complicated shapes. And that includes very steep slopes. Because it is an all-wheel drive model, this Automower can handle slopes up to 70%. It can handle complicated shapes. It can navigate around objects. It's got LED headlights. It's GPS operated, so it wirelessly talks to satellites above the earth for better precision. And it also stays within your property because of the perimeter wire that you first install. And if you buy this model, it includes professional installation, by the way. It's super quiet, uses an electric motor, so it can even cut your grass at night. It can work in the rain. It's got anti-theft detection, and you can use an app to start and stop it, or your voice. If you've got a Google or an Alexa smart speaker in your home, you can actually say, Husqvarna, cut my grass, and it'll do its thing. How awesome is that? The cost for the Automower 435X AWD, which is the top of the line model, is $32.99. But if you've got a smaller property, the Husqvarna Automower family starts at about $15.99 and up. All right, well, there you have it. A look at some gadgets, gear, and a game to help welcome in the spring season. I mentioned a game earlier, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. If you're looking for a new gaming rig, check out the Republic of Gamers, or ROG line of computers and accessories. It is top-notch, award-winning gear. You can go to asus.com/US/radio to learn more about ROG, or Republic of Gamers. It's owned by Asus, the title sponsor of this program, and the only gear that I play on, whether I'm just having a solo game or playing online with or against my friends. All right, when we return, we're going to learn about a company called eGlass with a very interesting product for students and teachers. Stick with us.
Breaking down geek speak into street speak. Check it out. Hosted by Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Tech It Out on the Radio America Network. If you believe there should be more transparency when it comes to remote education and distance learning, our next interview may interest you as an educator, parent, or student, as we're going to learn about eGlass by Pathway, which integrates a see-through writing surface with an embedded camera and software. Joining us to share the news is co-creator of eGlass, Ji Shen. Welcome to the show, Ji. Good to chat with you.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you for having me.
It's been said good technology solves a problem. What would you say is the issue with how students are learning today, whether it's online at home over, say, Zoom, or in the classroom in person?
I would say it's all about the engagement problem. Mm-hmm. Without student engagement, there's no chance for better learning achievements. And the engagement problem is really two-folded in my perspective. I think one is the in-classroom issues and the online remote learning issues. Mm-hmm. So in the classroom, teachers today use whiteboards or interactive whiteboards or even interactive flat panels to present information. However, you can't engage anybody with the back of your head. The moment the teacher turns their back on students, the student's attention is lost. You got to look at them in the eye. So today, you can only see, however, either the content or the students if you're a teacher, not at the same time, no matter which writing surface you use. So when you write, you turn your back. When you turn around and have interaction with students, you don't see the content. It's hard to gesture at the right information. Mm-hmm. And students only either see the teacher's gaze or expression or body gesture when they are not writing, or they can focus on the content along the back of the teacher's head, not the content and eye contact at the same time. So the other mode is that teacher walk around in the classroom, be among students, and they can look at their iPad or write on the iPad. But when they do that, you can't see the students, and the students can't see the teachers when they're looking at the content on the projection screen. So really, so far, nobody solved this problem of teacher and student need to converge on the content while maintaining eye contact with each other. And that's until now with eGlass.
All right, so with that in mind, walk us through how eGlass works. I did hint off the top, it is a transparent writing surface. So that way the students can see the teacher or professor and their face as they're writing on this surface as well.
Yes. So with eGlass, we really shattered that engagement barrier. For the first time, you have the teacher and the information in the same picture. And the student can see the teacher and the writing at the same time. And teacher can see the content and the students at the same time. So the teacher's gaze and the student's gaze converge synergistically on the same information. And the text also glows on the glass, which perks up attention and draws the students in. So this restores, in the remote learning environment, restores that missing social partnership and emotional connection with students. And it also enhances the in-classroom engagement and takes student and teacher rapport to a higher level.
I can definitely see the appeal in a classroom because you're right. You know, the moment the teacher turns around to write on the chalkboard or digital whiteboard even, their back is now to the students. So that's not ideal, obviously, but it's necessary for the educator to write on the board by looking at it, of course. So I can see how eGlass, when you look through it, it solves the problem because you can maintain eye contact with the students as you're writing on the board. When it comes to online learning, however, which is unfortunately the case today, I've seen software where the kids are looking at writing on the screen, but they're also looking at their professor or teacher's face at the same time. But is this still as ideal online as it is in person?
So in the online situation, actually, the engagement problem got worse. It's wonderful technology. Now you can see on Zoom, see the teacher's talking head and teacher can see students' talking heads. But in a screen share, teacher can present information. You can be looking at a PowerPoint slide or an iPad screen. But, you know, most of the time, you don't see how the writing is done. You don't see the writing hand. You don't see the teacher gaze at it. So it actually causes a sense of social isolation and anxiety. And students just simply lose their motivation of engaging in learning. When you do see the teacher's talking head next to the sharing screen, the teacher can't gesture at the information correctly or properly. Students are not really learning effectively today.
And what's the camera for exactly? Is it to flip the words around for the teacher so they don't have to write backwards on the screen? So when the kids look at it, it is in the right direction?
Oh, yeah. Basically, how it works is that the eGlass comprises of three components. Number one is the transparent and illuminated glass board. Number two is the special purpose camera and optics. Number three is the digital imaging and media fusion software. So the glass board has great clarity, smudge-free, and is consistent and even neon glow across the surface. You can write with dry erase glass marker with neon color edit, but you can buy this marker anywhere. And this part makes the using of this eGlass, it's no learning curve for teachers. It's easy, it's not digital, it's just, there's no lag. So the moment you pick up and start writing, I guarantee you'll love it. The camera really does the flipping of the image. So you don't need to write backward. On both sides, the student and the teacher get to read it from left to right. Image appears correctly for all online apps. So, and it's a high resolution, fast sensor. It ensures you have a crystal clear image with smooth motion.
We're going to continue chatting about eGlass after this short break. Stick with us.
Follow Mark Saltzman on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Listen to Check It Out whenever you want.
We're chatting with Ji Shen, co-creator of eGlass, which is looking to bring education not just into the 21st century, but into the future as well. So Ji, before the break, you were talking about connecting the eGlass to a computer. Maybe you can finish that thought.
So connects to a PC or Mac with just simple USB cable. And then from there, the software picks up and performs the magic. So you can drag in JPEG images, PowerPoint slide deck, a Word file, drop it into the Fusion software window, and the background transparency is processed. and the color is automatically inverted to ensure you have the best contrast. And you, the presenter, get to appear with the media most of the time behind the media, still making the content visible. And you annotate with ink on digital media. So this effectively actually blends the ink world, physical ink world, with digital media. It's a new hybrid media. And you can take snapshots anytime. You can bring them back to show it side by side with a live camera view. So this is like multiple whiteboard panels in use for the teacher. And you can record in 1080p, 720p, even up to 4K, and make it available to students.
How big are the eGlass panels themselves? I would assume in a classroom it would need to be much larger than it would be for an online education. Is that right?
So we have a 35-inch and a 50-inch. The 50-inch clearly give you a lot more writing surface, but you can write quite a bit of content and can solve a math problem, prove something, draw physics diagrams, or a lot of content on this 35-inch. It actually appears much larger for the students because the image is projected onto a larger screen, and the teacher actually appears larger than life. And for other use, for if you work remotely from home as a business user for this product, this takes up just a little bit of extra desk space. But it's I think if you think about the benefit it brings, and it kind of builds that rapport in remote setting, it's really worth it.
Have any schools or school boards adopted eGlass already?
So first, I want to say teaching from behind the whiteboard is actually a proven effective method. So Matt Anderson, who I collaborated with to create eGlass, teaches every day. And there are thousands of teachers, hundreds of universities practice whiteboard teaching in their classrooms today. And eGlass basically makes this adopting of this methodology and shift in paradigm much simpler and easy. So ask those teachers, their students strongly favor this way of teaching. eGlass right now is already a hit with K-12 teachers. Our feedback was unanimously positive. So we have K-12 math teachers, art teachers, STEM teachers, English teachers, even dance coaches, quite a number of early adopters. One teacher told us, as soon as I start using eGlass, the kids turn their cameras on, get engaged, talk in class. It is bringing the classroom back to life. We also just won the Tech and Learning Magazine 2021 Award of Excellence for Remote Learning.
Wow, congrats. Could eGlass also be used for businesses?
Absolutely. I think it works very well for business users. Working from home is here to stay. So this is a very effective tool for them. If you're a corporate leader, you're artist, designer, engineer, you're architect, sales, marketing professional, training specialist, even doctors or lawyers, anybody who need to present information with pen, with digital materials, it is great to present ideas, data, graph, images, diagrams, PowerPoint slides, and share document. So you can go way beyond just using a cursor point at something. You can naturally annotate with ink and diagram with ink while maintaining that eye contact. So you can augment the presentation. And in business, I think it's all about building trust. And then when you look into the camera and focus on the information of interest, it really helps to foster that critical trust building.
As we wrap up, G, how much does eGlass cost to start? And what website would you recommend to learn more?
So we have two models, 35-inch and a 50-inch. The 35-inch is about $2,000, and we have educational volume discounts. The 50-inch is about $3,000 and come with a stand and also has educational and volume discounts. And to learn more, please go to eGlass.io.
All right, eGlass.io to learn more about eGlass. We've been chatting with Ji Shen, its co-creator. Thanks so much for your time, and thanks for the demo that you gave me online as well. Really impressive. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark, for having me.
And thank you for tuning into Tech It Out this hour. Hope you enjoyed the program. Have a safe and healthy week ahead. Good luck with those vaccinations. I'm on the list to get one in a couple of days. And I look forward to catching up with you next weekend for another episode of Tech It Out. Be well. Ciao.